Foyle Sports Sound with Desi McCallion.
Good evening and welcome to Foyle Sports Sound. I'm Desi McCallion. It's a make-or-break European night for Derry City as they take a 2-1 first-leg advantage to the Savon Sanomat Arena in Kuopion in Finland for the second leg of their Europa Conference League second qualifying round tie against Kups. And awaiting the winners is a trip to Kazakhstan next Thursday to take on Tobol after they knocked out Basel from Switzerland in the last few minutes. They lost 2-1 on the day but progressed 4-3 on aggregate. However, our main focus is Derry City. Can they set up a mammoth trip to Kazakhstan next week? Kick-off time is upon us in Finland, so let's cross to our commentary team of Liam Coyle. And first of all, Eric White.
Thank you very much, Desi, and the match is just underway. Derry City against Kups. Derry, of course, in the strongest position of all the Irish clubs still standing in Europe, the only side from the League of Ireland or the Irish League to win their first leg, and they could create a little piece of history tonight. Only once before has a team from Derry progressed through 2 rounds in Europe, and that was back in 2006. Rory Higgins was a player when they got past both Gothenburg and Gretna. Now he's aiming to match that feat as a manager. Derry 2-1 up from the first leg, having come from behind in that game, and perhaps Kups fortunate not to be further behind given some of the chances that Derry had towards the latter stages of that first leg tie last Thursday night, and the saves that the Finnish goalkeeper Cradle had to make. Derry making 2 changes coming into this game, with Cian Kavanagh and Paul McMullen coming in for Brandon Kavanagh and Jamie McGonigal. We'll give you a full check on the 2 teams in just a second. We'll also hear from Liam Coyle in just a moment as well. But Derry in the opening couple of minutes here have conceded a corner kick. They're playing in their home colours, those red jerseys, thin white stripes, black shorts and white socks, playing from left to right as we watch the play, and Kups are in their yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks, and immediately they swing in a corner kick which has gone over the crossbar. So Derry, I thought they had safely defended that situation, but the referee, who's from Croatia, has indicated that it will be another corner. So pretty much as we expected here, the home team putting on the pressure as early as they can, and it's a corner kick that's going to be taken by Anton Popovic, their skipper from in the midfield area. He didn't play in the first leg. He's overcome a shoulder injury to start here for the second leg. They've actually made 5 changes. We'll run through all at the moment. The ball's right in that 6-yard area box and came off a Derry defender last. Ronan Boyce has hurt his lower back. Brian Maher has gathered it inside the 6-yard area, and Liam Coyle with me. And Liam, as we expected, a fast start from the home team.
Yeah, we didn't expect nothing else, right? And they've 2 minutes gone, they've already had 2 dangerous corners. That one just lucky enough rolls onto Brian Maher's hands, but they're just going to have to see this for about 15-20 minutes, because you expect Kups to come out with a bit more energy than they finished the game with last week.
So the Derry team in full, as we were saying, 2 changes. McMullen, who was very instrumental, had quite an impact as he came on as a substitute at the Brandywell. He gets a start, as does Cian Kavanagh, the match winner from last Thursday night, preferred to Jamie McGonigal to lead the line in attack. So Derry with Brian Maher in goal. The back 4 of Ronan Boyce, who's actually making his 100th Derry City appearance tonight. Mark Connolly, Cameron McJanet and Ben Doherty in midfield. Cameron Dummigan, Patrick McElhenney, Will Patching, and then McMullen, Michael Duffy and Cian Kavanagh. And Derry are coming down the right hand side here with Ronan Boyce. It's their first foray into the Finn's half with 3.5 minutes gone on the clock, and Dummigan picks it up now 25 yards out from goal, tries to slide a pass into the left channel there for Ben Doherty, but he's played it too far in front of him and it goes out for a throw in. The Kups team news, well, the main news concerning them is that their midfield playmaker Nisala has left the club. He played in the first leg, but his short-term contract expired on July the 31st, so he doesn't play. And you may recall as well from the first leg that Coups were without 3 regulars due to visa issues. Their African defensive trio of Cisse, Sechenje and Antwi were all unable to travel to Northern Ireland as they failed to receive the necessary travel documentation. Well, all 3 are in the back line, and as I say, Popovic as well, who's recovered from injury, and there's also a start for Artu Heinonen, who played in their 2-0 win against KTP at the weekend, a result which returned them to the top of the Finnish league on goal difference. So 5 changes made by the Finnish team for this home game. So Credle in goal, Saarinen, Cisse, Sechenje and Antwi across the back. In midfield it's Popovic, Oksanen and Heinonen, and then Savalainen, Tuminen and Yengi, who will play up front. He will lead the line for the Finnish team. Liam, I mean, it was a really big night at the Brandywell last Thursday night, a thoroughly deserved victory from Derry's point of view, but it's going to take a similar performance tonight, isn't it? And this time without the fans to complete the job.
Well, that's right. Well, and you look at last week's game, right? For 65 minutes, Coups were happy enough. They played the way they were, 1-0 up, but once they never got that second goal, I think they tried to manage the game too soon. And then Derry got the goal then. It was only ever going to be 1-1. I don't think it's going to be like that there, but I think if Derry can keep them out for the first 20-25 minutes, then they've every chance of going through in this tie. Because even though Coups they're not a bad side, I don't think they're one of the top sides you'll see in Europe, so I think Derry are more capable of getting a result.
Oksanen for the home team just floated a ball in top of the Derry goalkeeper Brian Maher, but the Dubliner made a comfortable catch. Also kicking off at 5 o'clock, Linfield against Pogoń Szczecin from Poland, and that one 0-0 as well in the early stages. But Linfield, of course, with it all to do from the first leg, having lost at Windsor Park by 5-2 last Thursday night. Rosenborg from Norway against Crusaders, that kicks off at 6 o'clock. That one's 2 apiece. And Larne against Balkany from Kosovo. Larne really with a mountain to climb as well in that one. They're trailing 3-0 from the away leg. And then at 7:45, Dundalk against AK from Iceland. Dundalk 3-1 down, and the ball just has gone out of play here as Coups were attacking down the left-hand side. And then Shamrock Rovers against Ferencváros. Shamrock Rovers 4-0 down. So when you look across all the ties, Liam, concerning the teams in the Irish League and the League of Ireland, really Derry flying the flag. They're the team with the best opportunity to try to go through. I mean, Crusaders obviously still at 2-2, but a lot of work to do in the away leg. Dundalk would have to become the first League of Ireland club to overturn a 2-goal lead if they were to advance. So and a big prize for Derry if they can get the job done here tonight. We'll come back to that at the moment. Here's Yengi just coming forward. He's gone to ground very easily. Referee sees nothing wrong with it as Derry send the ball up into the opposition half of the pitch. And of course, should Derry win tonight, they will add a further €300,000 to their European earnings for this season. Remember, it takes you have to go through 4 rounds in total to reach the group stages, so a lot of work to get to there, but they know that if they win tonight, they will be in Kazakhstan next Thursday night. So huge incentive, Liam.
Massive incentive, Eric, and I think as you said, done all the hard work in the first league. Getting the one, was massive, and taking a lead into this year time. When you Derry have got away that day.
Now they've rescued the situation again with have they? Patrick McElhinney has picked up a yellow card, I think, there. Derry in danger of losing possession just outside the box. Dummigan, was it? As we watch the play here, so an early yellow for...
Oh, that's McElhinney, you're right, yeah.
For Patrick McElhinney, Derry City's skipper. I think he had a hold at the player as he...
he's just lost control.
He just ran into trouble. He ran into Tuminen, the number 9, the Finnish international, and then he had a pull at his jersey so that the danger wasn't any greater. But they have this free kick to defend. So the Derry skipper with 9 minutes on the clock. Goes into the Croatian referee's notebook. This match being played in the Foyle Arena in the city of Kuopion. It has a capacity of around 3,000 seated capacity. There's one main stand that runs along one side of the pitch, and then it's open on the other three sides of the ground. Derry with this free kick now to defend. Popovic is standing over it. So too there is Antwi, the left back. It's about 30 yards at least out from goal as they attack the goal away to our left hand side. So this free kick now for Coops, with Derry the 2-1 advantage from the first leg. Antwi, he takes it, and Brian Maher never in any danger as that one went wide off the target.
They say, Eric, the pitch looks absolutely terrible. You know, it's another 4G pitch, but I know the Brandon was coming for a lot of criticism, but looking at that pitch here, it looks in worse condition. And you can see even Patrick McElhinney, where he's picked up his book and it's still rolled under his foot when it's played into him. Just a simple pass, and doesn't look the best. So there could be a few mistakes here.
Yes, as was the case in the first leg in the Faroe Islands, in the first qualifying round in the Faroe Islands. Derry have been played all their European matches on an artificial pitch, and certainly the black beads on the surface very evident. Here is Cradle, just played it out from the back, made a couple of big saves to keep his team in the tie in the first leg, and saying that as well, at 1-0 for Coops, Yengi had an effort that was seemed destined for the top corner, Liam, and Brian Maher made an outstanding save to tip it the other side of the post, and at that stage in the tie, Derry would have fallen 2-0 behind. But Derry give it away now, just outside their own penalty area. Domigan stands up well, makes the challenge. Shot comes in here, and it's fired wide by Antwi, their left back, their number 25, who's from Ghana. Actually came through the Right to Dream Academy, which regular visitors to the Super Cup NI will be very familiar with that team. Actually played against Cliftonville in the 2018 Europa League while playing with a club in Denmark. 11 and a half minutes gone. Coops 0, Derry City 0, but Derry with the 2-1 lead from the first leg. Boyce heads it on up towards the halfway line. Here is Paul McMullen. Domigan plays it back as it eventually makes its way to Maher in the Derry City goal. Derry's victory over Tórshavn in the first round, making it only the 6th time in the club's history to progress through a round in Europe. Twice before they have taken a home leg lead into the second leg. They did it back in 2014 when they were 4-0 up against Aberystwyth Town, and went on to win the second leg by 5-0. Here's Paul McMullen now, just in a bit of space down the right hand side, comes in towards the penalty area. Cian Kavanagh towards the back post, and there is Kavanagh, and he scored. Derry take the lead here in the 13th minute. What a fantastic moment as the McMullen and Kavanagh combination produces the goods. It was a terrific ball from McMullen in towards Kavanagh, who was lurking unmarked at the back post, and the player who scored the winning goal in the first leg at the Brandywell gets Derry off the mark here in Kuopion. 13 minutes played on the clock. It's Coops 0, Derry City 1, and Derry now have a 3-1 advantage over the two legs.
Again, it's McMullen, Eric. He's just picked the ball up. It's a poor pass in the middle of the field from one of the Coops midfielders. McMullen picks it up, and he's acres of space to run under, and he just squares the. You just see it here. It's good ball from Domigan. Look, that acres of space, and he just carries the ball forward. And as he's running forward, you think he's going to. I tell you what, he looks offside. I have to say, he looks offside. Kavanagh, I think they've got away with it, but it's a clever wee chip the back post. But Kavanagh does well to pull off, and he just empty net. They head it under, and what a start for Derry.
Well, there's no VAR, so the goal will stand. Whether it was debatable or not, Cian Kavanagh back post header. Derry lead by 1-0, and in the space of 2 games, in the space of 2 European matches, Cian Kavanagh has doubled his goal tally for the season for Derry City. So 3-1, the Candy Stripes here lead on aggregate, and the task now for Coops, the home side, has got even greater. Barely 15 minutes played. A lot of the build up to this game surrounded Derry being able to withstand an expected early onslaught from Coops. Well, they've gone even better than that, because they have hit the front themselves. Cian Kavanagh with his 4th Derry City goal of the season, and as I say, 2 in Europe, and they've got a cushion, Liam Coyle, and maybe they didn't expect to be in this position, but what will be the game plan now from this point onwards, do you feel?
Well, Derry, I don't think Derry will change the way they're going to play. I think they'll always have a plan. They know that the first 10, 15, 20 minutes Coops probably come out. You see that out, their chances to happen. But you look at Coops, they're just so wide open when Derry go forward. I seen that last week. They don't play with any really holding midfielders, and they leave acres of space, and Derry on the break of the pace, they hurt them.
Here's Ben Doherty delivering another ball in towards the penalty area. Cisse heads it away, and it's back with Cameron McJanet. I was just making the point in the build up to that goal in the past, where Derry City have had a lead from a home leg going into the away leg. I mentioned the Aberystwyth tie back in 2014, and the only other previous occasion that they were in this situation was back in 1995, when they were up against Lokomotiv Sofia. Played the first leg at the Brandywell, a Harry McCourt goal gave Derry a 1-0 lead going to Bulgaria, but they lost the away leg by 2-0. So they have extended their advantage in Finland tonight to lead 3-1 on aggregate. They've got a throw in on the halfway line. Meanwhile, in Poland, Linfield have also taken the lead, so they are 1-0 up against Pogoń. In that, on the night there, Jimmy Mulgrew has put them in front. Linfield would need to win 3-0 or by 3 goals to take that one into extra time. Free kick for Derry, which Will Patching is going to take. Patching, who scored the equaliser at the Brandywell last Thursday night. Mark Connolly is up from the back. Roland Boyce has made his way forward as well. Patching touches it to Ben Doherty in towards the penalty area, and it's been defended behind for a corner kick. Derry City's first corner kick off this second leg tie. We've just moved into the 18th minute of the game. It was a floater from Patching and nodded away to safety as Patching, the Englishman, goes across to take the corner kick. Derry with plenty of bodies crowding in the 6-yard box against the yellow jerseys of Coops. Patching raises his right arm, swings it in, and there was a glancing header there that looks as if maybe it's come off a Finnish defender last, and that one just flew past the post and out for another corner kick. This one will be taken from the near side. Well, if Derry were to go even further ahead here in this tie, what a position that they would find themselves in. They're pushing here for a second goal. This time it's Ben Doherty, delivers it in towards the back post, and again Coops are forced to defend it at the expense of another corner kick, which again now will switch sides again. So 3 corners in a row here for the visitors. McJanet up there as well, and it was their number 6 Savalainen who got the last touch in that one. Derry take the corner kick short this time. Ball rolled back. McMullen in towards the 6-yard. McJanet's looking to get the shot away, and it's lumped clear by the Finns. Only as far here now as Ben Doherty. Doherty to Mark Connolly. Connolly, who's down this right hand side, plays it infield here for Ben Doherty, takes on the shot, and Cradle gets down low to make the save. 20 minutes gone, Liam Coyle. I have to say, what a fantastic start for Derry City.
The start, Eric, has been absolutely brilliant, and Derry, since they've got the goal, Derry have just kept going forward. Coop's looking nowhere near the team that played the Brandywell last week for the first hour. Really unsettled, and they think they know now that goal now has really changed this tie.
Here's Oxen in for Coops in the midfield area. Just inside his own half, and Cradle, the goalkeeper, comes well outside of his penalty area. The Austrian, who's 27 years of age. Well, it'll certainly have dampened the enthusiasm among whatever home attendance inside the stadium, which will have gone a bit flat after conceding that relatively early goal coming in the 13th minute, scored by Cian Kavanagh. If you're joining our coverage a little bit late, Derry 1-0 up here. Headed goal from Kavanagh, the man who put them in front at the Brandywell to give them the 2-1 lead to take to Finland, and they certainly look rattled to Coops by the concession of that early goal. But they've got a throw in midway inside their own half here. Europa League second qualifying round, second leg, live on BBC Radio Foyle and BBC Sounds. The winners will be going to Kazakhstan next Thursday night. Tobol, who were playing Basel earlier on this afternoon, they lost their home leg by 2-1, but having won the first leg 3-1, they go through 4-3 on aggregate, and they won their first leg 3-1 with Basel having had a couple of players sent off, so a bit early yet to be looking ahead to the next round, but there might not be too much in that Kazakhstan team either that may strike fear into Derry City, but that will be for another day. They've a long way to go in this game, but it's looking very promising indeed as City have this 1-goal lead in Finland and a 3-1 aggregate lead, and Coop struggling to get any kind of rhythm at all going into their play. Derry throw in just in front of the visiting dugout as the backroom staff watch on, I'm sure delighted with the opening quarter of this game as we hit 22 minutes gone. Coops 0, Derry 1, and Coops have not even threatened the Derry penalty area since they went that goal behind. McElhinney takes the free kick here, clips it down the left hand side. Cross swung in too close towards the goalkeeper Cradle, who gets down close to his near post to gather the ball. Cian Kavanagh takes a stumble just outside the box, and referee is going to give Coops a free kick for a foul just outside the centre circle in their own half. And it is their number 15, Cisse, who is going to take the free kick. One of the 3 players who missed the first leg. He's from the Ivory Coast. Now they have it 20 yards out from goal. Shot has come off a Derry player last, Mark Connolly. He's just taken a bit of a knock as he went to close that ball down, and it will be a corner kick now for Coops as they look to try and find a way back into this tie. The shot came in from Oxenin that Connolly made the block from. So a corner kick here for Coops. 24th minute of the game. Popovic The skipper swings it in, and it's in the back of the net. Maher came out for it. He wasn't able to deal with it, and it's Heinonen who looks as if he's got the final touch to it. A glancing header into the net, and this tie takes another twist just past the midpoint of the first half. Coops level on the night here now at 1 each, but trailing by 3 goals to 2 on aggregate.
Well, it's just a ball on the box, on the 6-yard box. Brian Maher's trying to come through players. They get a punch on it, gets nowhere near it, and Tynan just, I think he just stands there and just manages to get a header on it. I don't know who's picking him up, but it'll be disappointing losing it from a set piece, but it's game on again.
Well, we talked about Derry City's defensive record in the build-up to this game. The only goal they had conceded in their 3 ties so far was that penalty at the Brandywell last Thursday night, but that was a poorly defended corner kick, and it was actually their number 9 Tuminen who got the header to it for the equalising goal. The Finnish international plays up front, and it makes it 1 apiece now.
As we keep talking about it, that second goal, isn't it so important? You know, they had to get that second goal when they were on top after they scored. They had a couple of corners, you know, they really put the pressure on, but now it's given Coops a real lift here now, because they had drifted out of the game.
Well, Tuminen scored on a very famous night for the Finnish international team when they beat Liechtenstein 3-0 to qualify for Euro 2020. He actually missed the finals themselves, which took place in 2021 due to injury, but he's got a big goal here tonight for his team to make it 1 each in Kuopion, and Derry with a 3-2 lead over the 2 legs. We have played 26 minutes.
The only thing, looking at Coops, they look as if they're going to concede more chances. There's no doubt about it, you know, so they have just got to be composed, stay in the game for as long as they can now.
This match could get pretty chaotic. Here is Yengi now, looking to slide the ball in towards the penalty area. As Liam says, crucial couple of minutes now for Derry City, as McJanet is happy just to send that one for touch. As we get a video replay again off the goal, Maher missing with his attempted punch, and Tuminen, he mightn't have known an awful lot about it as it came off his head, but into the net it went.
I think Ronan Boyce has maybe ducked out the road, Eric, because he thinks that Brian Maher's coming through him, and as you say, Tuminen, I think it hits him in the back of the head. It was in the net, but I think if Maher's coming for them, he's got to be making sure he gets on the end of him.
Just the 1 goal in the tie then. Hopes revived for the Finnish team, whose big ambition is to reach the group stages of European competition themselves. It's only been achieved by one other team in Finland, that was HJK Helsinki. Coops knocking on the door a couple of times themselves. Back in 2020 they reached the Europa League playoff stage. They were knocked out by Cluj. The following season they went to the playoffs of the Conference League, where they lost to Union Berlin, and last season they went a round further than this round that they're currently in. They went to the 3rd round, losing to Young Boys from Switzerland. We're just watching Patrick McElhinney right now, who's down on the ground. He's shaking the head. Doesn't look all that good from the City skipper's point of view. So 28 minutes played on the clock, and Derry, having gone in front through Cian Kavanagh with his headed goal, then concede from a corner kick to bring the Finnish side right back into this tie. 28 and a half minutes gone. 1 each. Throw in for Derry. Ronan Boyce will take it on the right hand side. Loads of experience in this Derry team, with the likes of Michael Duffy and Patrick McElhinney, though it has to be said. Patrick McElhinney, this is his 47th game in Europe. Michael Duffy, who turned 29 last Friday, he's making his 36th European appearance. Of course,
looks like Patrick McElhinney's going to come off, Rick.
Both players possessing so much of experience of having gone to the Europa League group stages with Dundalk. But for Patrick McElhinney, he's going to play no further part in tonight's game. He's coming off to be replaced by Seydou Diallo, the man whose goal in the first qualifying round against Tórshavn in the second leg at the Brandywell sent them through to this stage of the competition. So a change for Derry, Liam, with half an hour gone on the clock.
Yeah, I think a sad injury. Patrick's been carrying Eric, his Achilles. You can see him when he went down with it. He just looked at it and he knew straight away that it wasn't good. So you're getting a player coming on now who knows his job well. Bit of experience behind him now as well too. So just unfortunately Patrick's had to go off injured. And
Derry have a free kick. Patching delivers it in, but he's played it too close to the home goalkeeper cradle. So will we see Diallo now and Dummigan sit in a more protective role, Liam, in front of the back four?
I think that's their natural way they play anyhow, whereas Patrick will dictate the play more. I think them two will sit and protect, and maybe with Patching he will just drop under that hole. Maybe Patrick might take up, but I think Diallo coming on, he just plays that natural anyway. He's not a player that goes forward and links up play.
So half an hour gone here on BBC Radio Foyle. Coops 1, Derry City 1, but Derry leading 3-2 on aggregate as Brian Maher sends that one forward. Ball just bouncing awkwardly there for the fullback. Saarinen of Coops. It goes up in the air. First touch for Diallo. Chests it to Dummigan. Dummigan trying to pick up Duffy over in that left hand side, but the yellow shirts now can come forward with it, but Diallo intercepts the pass and just feeds that one back to his goalkeeper Brian Maher. The dub to Connolly just outside his own area. 31 and a half minutes played here. Linfield still leading 1-0 in Poland, but 5-2 down from the first leg. Mentioned about Dundalk being in action later on this evening. They certainly made the most eye-catching signing of the window so far, with Daryl Horgan's return announced earlier this week. Ball in towards the Coops penalty area. McMullen just couldn't quite pounce on the opportunities. There was a little bit of hesitancy amongst the Coops defenders, but in the end they can breathe a sigh of relief as the goalkeeper gathers the ball. And news today as well that Max Mata from Sligo Rovers, well, no more, because he has completed his move to League One Shrewsbury Town. That's ahead of their match tomorrow night, where they will play Sligo Rovers away in the League of Ireland Premier Division. Bows at home to Drogheda as well. It's going to be a pretty tight race for the European positions, the European qualification spots for next season as well. Derry, of course, go to UCD on Sunday, 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll have live coverage as well of that one here on BBC Radio Foyle, but they've still got at least a huge hour ahead of them in Finland. Remember, if the tie is level after 90 minutes, we will have extra time and penalties. But for that to happen, Coops would need to score another goal. They have the ball in the midfield area, trying to clip this ball in towards the penalty area. Just a little bit too heavy in their attempts to try and get Savalainen away there, and it's run through towards Brian Maher in the City goal, the 22-year-old. Receives the ball back again from Cameron McJanet and then drives it up into the opposition half. Kavanagh jumps to try and win it. Cisse knocks it away. Boyce just lofted ball back into the Coops half again. It's not coming down. and there's been a foul on Cameron Dummigan, and the bald-headed referee says that's a free kick for Derry City. Dummigan keeping his eyes on the ball, and referee judging that Timonen, the Coups goal scorer, fouled him. Connolly gets on with it, plays the free kick here towards Diallo. Just over 10 minutes of the first half to go. During the half-time interval, we'll be looking ahead to the start of the new Irish Premiership season, which kicks off tomorrow night at the Coleraine Showgrounds. Coleraine against Ballymena United. Stephen Beacom, the chief sports writer from the Belfast Telegraph, will be with us. Here's Timonen inside the Derry City box, trying to go down the left-hand side, and he's got himself into a tight spot, and he's run it out over the end line, and that'll be a goal kick for Derry.
Well done, Mark Connolly and Ronan Boyce. Timonen's just got 1-on-1 and with Boyce down the left-hand side. I take them in the box, but Connolly sees a danger, comes across and helps out Boyce, and they see it out for a goal kick.
So Rory Higgins, hands in his pockets, his team is in control of this tie as it stands. They send it down the left-hand side. Cisse with the header. Diallo then with an outstretched boot just to intercept the ball, puts it out for a throw-in in front of the Derry dugout. Diallo just has a quick discussion with some of his teammates inside his own half. It's back with Cradle now, and here is Sechenje. Remember, 3 of the Coups' back 4 different to that of the first leg. They've made 5 changes in total. It's almost half the team is different to the one that took to the pitch at the Brandywell last Thursday night. But remember, their playmaker Nisala, he left the club earlier this week after his contract expired. Patching does well to retain possession along the halfway line. Opts to go back to Connolly with it. Patching, who had experience in Europe as well with Dundalk a couple of seasons ago when they got knocked out by Vitesse Arnhem. Derry give it away in the Coups half. Diallo though was onto it quickly down this right hand side, plays it infield for Ronan Boyce, and Derry just content to keep hold of the ball. 36 and a half minutes gone in this first half, 1 each, and Ben Doherty's control just escapes him on this occasion, and it's out for a throw-in for Coups. The temperatures in Kuopion around 22 degrees as the home side come forward here with Antwi. Now it's Cisse just slips as he goes for the long searching ball, try and pick out the Coups winger over on the far side, but that one is run safely through to Brian Maher in the City goal. In case you missed the news earlier on, Tobol from Kazakhstan lost 2-1 to Basel, but go through on aggregate, so they have the job done, and they'll be watching and awaiting the winners of this tie here with interest, because they will host the winners next Thursday. As the matches in Europe just keep coming thick and fast at this time of the year. Here is Duffy now over on the left hand side, back towards Ben Doherty. These two teams battling it out for a place in the third qualifying round. Duffy gets on the end of it, hoists it in towards the penalty area. The Coups defender has gone down. Boyce has been penalised for a foul, and that will be a free kick for the home side.
The only disappointing thing about it is conceding a goal from a set piece, because outside that there, Derry have been, Coups have had a fair share of the ball, but they haven't really created anything. Derry have worked ever so hard, they close them down, and that'll disappoint Roy that they've conceded from that set piece. That's the only downside, the result at the minute.
Coups, who went to the top of their own league at the weekend, they had a 2-0 victory. Let's put them top on goal difference. Second placed SJK do have a game in hand though, while HJK Helsinki, who knocked Larne out of the Champions League after extra time, they are 1 point behind in third position. They've won the Finnish Championship 6 times in their history, most recently back in 2019 under their current manager, who did leave them for a spell before returning to them, Jani Honkavara, who in the post-match press conference at the Brandywell last Thursday night was pretty bullish that his team would be in a much stronger position for this second leg, and confident that they still would have every chance of reaching the third qualifying round. Well, they still do, but they trail on aggregate by 3 goals to 2. Here is the Coups goal scorer, Tuminen, on this left hand side as they switch the play over to the right hand side. Duffy looking to get close to his man here. Savalainen looking to get away down that right hand side, but a crunching challenge coming in there from Ben Doherty, taking no prisoners. Ball out for a throw in. We have 5 minutes of the first half to go. Coups 1, Derry City 1, and Coups with possession of the ball just inside Derry's half. Here is Sachenja, the Kenyan, who's on loan from the Swedish side AIK. Tuminen, centre of the Derry half of the pitch. Antwi now over on the left hand side here. A lot of red shirts behind the ball, defending their goal, as Antwi looking for options, looking for movement up ahead of him. Here he has it once again now, midway inside the Derry half. 4 minutes of this first half to go. Cross sent in towards the box, and McJanet sort of diving header, and Maher has to claim it at the second attempt as the ball takes a bounce on the ground.
So that's the first time Coups have actually had a passage of play where they've just worked the ball and they've put a space here and then put a ball in the box, a decent ball in the box. But Yankee, who you're expecting in there, doesn't really challenge Maher for it. But Derry will be happy with that all day long.
Ball sent into the Coups half of the pitch. Cisse wins the header. McMullen in the centre circle area sends it over towards Michael Duffy, and Sachenja has clattered into Cian Kavanagh there, who's gone down hurt. Has the former Waterford man just rubbing his head, and it will be a free kick for Derry. Mark Connolly asking the referee there why he's not showing the Coups defender a yellow card.
We'll see here.
He feels that there might have been an elbow involved in it.
Not at all. Yeah, he's just come across. He's come over the top of him all right with his arm, but it's not an elbow. It's a free kick, and that's good play from Kavanagh. Like, that's what you want to see him doing. You're not going to win every header, so if you're not going to win it, make sure that the centre half doesn't come through and win it. And he's done that a few times now. Get free kicks and give Derry a chance to put the ball in the box.
So Kavanagh back on his feet again. Less than 3 minutes of the first half here to go. Ball delivered into the penalty area, and it is come off the Coups defender last, so it'll be a throw in the evening sunshine for Ronan Boyce to take, very close to the Coups corner flag. Boyce making his 100th Derry City appearance tonight. The man from Ramelton, ex-Swilly Rovers player, joined Derry City's underage academy. Drops it at the feet of Michael Duffy. Boyce now whips it in towards the 6-yard area, but Cradle will come and collect that one. Thinks about playing it out from the back, which he now does to their number 13, Oxenin, midfielder who spent 4.5 years with Brentford. Didn't really break into their first team. He actually had a loan spell with Greenock Morton in Scotland as well during his time with Brentford. They move into the Derry half, played up towards the edge of the box. Yengi looks for the knockdown, but a danger here. Shot takes a deflection, and it's gone in, and Coups have scored with a couple of minutes to go before half time, and this time Savalainen, it looks as if, has put them in front on the night. Unfortunate blow for City, just so close towards the interval, and just as Derry came from behind to lead 2-1 in the first leg, well, Coops have come from behind here to lead 2-1, but it's not even half time, and it's 3-3 on aggregate.
Well, it's a well-worked goal there. They keep the ball well, and it's just a long ball down the side. It's Yankee wants the header, and it's the midfielders making up, and I think it's taking a deflection as Savalenkin just hits it. I think it maybe comes off Cameron McJanet. We'll see it here now, and again, look, it's just a long ball over the top. Yankee just flicks it on it, and he could have been offside again. It could have been offside, but that deflection there just takes it, as Brian Maher goes down to his left, it just takes it over his head as he's falling down. Look, can't get a strong hand there to keep it out. But again, the first passage of play could have been offside. It's like the Coops goal. The linesman had over up the player and that, but they've let it go, and this game is well and truly on now. Well, the pendulum swings now back in Coops' favour, you would feel, but I don't think we've seen the last of the goals. We're into stoppage time here now at the end of the first half, and Coops have made up the 2-goal deficit that they trailed after 13 minutes of this tie. They're coming forward here again. Derry have to get their shape back again. They've certainly been knocked by that Coops goal. Nothing much Brian Maher could do about it as the deflected effort took the ball behind him. Not sure how much additional time we've got here at the end of this first half, but Coops turning this match around, and we are all level at 3-3 on aggregate. What they don't want to do now is concede now, Eric, before just half time here.
And here is Antwi, who looks to take on the shot. Connolly gets the block inside the box. It's going to come back out towards Antwi, but referee's whistle sounds. Not for the half-time whistle. I can tell you it's going to be a free.
Probably the injury to Patrick McElhinney's
for Derry. Yeah, that's given us this additional time here.
Right, yep.
And Will Patching was just caught by the studs of one of the Coops players there, and that's what the referee has given the free kick for. So Derry really at the worst possible time in this first half, just conceding that second goal. But what a thrilling tie this is, and it really is anybody's. And I think we've got a very exciting second half in store to come.
The only thing you can say, Derry's game plan was working. You know, they stifled Coops, made it hard for them. Coops were trying to maybe go long a bit, trying to hit Yankee a bit more, and you know, a set piece and a deflection now is taking it out of your hands. So the only thing is the tie's still level, so Coops have to go and win this game as well as Derry.
Although they do have home advantage, Coops. We've played over 2 minutes of the additional time here at the end of this first half. Referee has got the card out, and this time it's Cameron Dummigan who picks up a yellow card, and it'll be a free kick for Coops. So Derry with still some more defending to do before they get in at half time and get a chance to regroup. And Rory Higgins with a big team talk ahead of him as well over the course of the next 15 minutes. Dummigan just taking the Coops player out of it. The referee initially did allow advantage to be played, I think, but Tumanen then was also fouled. So free kick for the home team, who are looking to put themselves in front on aggregate here just before half time. They send the ball in towards the Derry penalty area. It's deep towards the back post. It's headed down, but Derry have players there to deal with it, and Paul McMullen with the outside of his boot sends it up towards the halfway line, where it's brought under control by Popovic, and they decide to go back to the goalkeeper. And there is the half-time whistle after over 3 minutes of additional time. The referee blows his whistle. Coops leading by 2-1 on the night, but it's 3-3 on aggregate. Derry got off to a dream start, didn't they, really, when they took the lead after 13 minutes with a headed goal from Cian Kavanagh, 10-point cross from Paul McMullen. That gave Derry a 2-goal advantage in the tie and really put it up to Coops, who had an uphill task facing them, but they have responded brilliantly, they will feel, from their part, although the 2 goals really perhaps avoidable. The first goal, the equaliser, coming in 25 minutes, a headed goal from Timonen. Maher less than convincing in trying to deal with it, and then the goal right on the stroke of half time was a deflection from Savalainen, which Maher could do absolutely nothing about. So that makes it 3-3 overall. Liam, I mean, who do you make favourites from this point onwards?
Well, you would think the home side would be favourites now, Eric, but all I'll say is that, they haven't been overly impressive. Derry for half an hour that time were playing a perfect game plan away from home in Europe. Took the lead and you thought, that's it, just control it. I think maybe Patrick McElhinney's injury has just knocked them off their stride a bit. But to be fair to Coops, they've commanded it. They played themselves back, and they're not through great play. A set piece and a deflection now has given them the lead, but the home side now, you think they would go on and get their advantage and go on, win the tie, but I think it's still there for Derry if they believe in it.
Okay, half time in Finland, Coops leading by 2-1, and on aggregate that makes it Coops 3, Derry City 3. A huge 45 minutes still to come, but for now it's back to Desi McCallion.
Thanks to Eric, and Liam will be back in time for the second half. Let's take in some of the news from today's other Europa Conference League games. As you heard, the winner of this tie takes on Tobol from Kazakhstan after they lost 2-1 today against Basel from Switzerland, but they won 4-3 on aggregate last week's first leg. Decisive there. Caddy on 26 minutes and Augustin on 32 had Basel 2-0 in front, and it looked at that stage as if they were going to take control of the tie. But Debley, with a penalty on 43 minutes, pulled the goal back for Tobol. There were no other goals in the game, and the Kazakhstani side, they held on to win 4-3 in aggregate and booked their place in the third qualifying round. Half time here in Finland. It's Coops 2, Derry City 1. Cian Kavanagh put Derry in front on 13 minutes, but Timonen on 25 and Savalainen on 44. The tie level 3 apiece on aggregate. It's half time also in Poland. Pogoń 0, Linfield 1. Jimmy Mulgrew's goal on 17 minutes. The difference between the sides there. Pogoń still lead 5-3 on aggregate, so a big job still to do for David Healy's men in the second half. Elsewhere, 6 o'clock, about 7.5 minutes time away. Rosenborg against Crusaders. That's 2 apiece from the first leg in Seaview. Crews have a big task on in Norway tonight, but they have a chance after a decent first leg performance. At 7:30, it's Larne against Balkany from Kosovo. Larne trail 3-0 from the first leg there. At 7:45, Dundalk trail the Icelandic side Akureyri. They trail 3-1 from the first leg. There is some optimism that Dundalk can overturn that, but no Irish side has ever overturned a 2-goal first leg deficit. And at 8 o'clock, it looks just a matter of turning up for Shamrock Rovers. They're out by the looks of things. They trail Ferencváros from Hungary 4-0 from the first leg there. That game at Tala kicks off at 8 o'clock. We're about to get underway in the second half. Before we do that, Liam Coyle, what do Derry City need to do here now to get a result?
Well, the first thing they've got to do, Desi is not conceding the first 10 minutes, but it's up to Coops now. They've got the momentum, but if Derry's just got to stay in the game now in the first 15 minutes or so.
And with that, we'll hand back to Eric because we are back underway in Finland.
Yes, the second half has begun, and Derry City trailing 2-1 in this second leg, but it is 3-3 on aggregate. And remember, if the tie is level at the end of 90 minutes, we will have extra time and possibly penalties. From what we can make out, there have been no changes at half time from either side. Derry forced into one alteration during that first half. You may recall Patrick McElhinney, the captain, forced off with an injury around the half hour mark to be replaced by Sadou Diallo. So Derry with Maher in goal. The back four in front of him: Boyce, Connolly, McJanet and Doherty. Dummigan and Diallo and Patching, McMullen, Duffy and Cian Kavanagh leading the line. Dummigan is on a yellow card. It was Cian Kavanagh's goal that put Derry City 1-0 in front early on in the first half before Coops turned it around, scoring that second goal just before the break. Here is Will Patching as Derry come forward looking for an early attack here at the start of the second half. Duffy puts it in towards the danger zone and Kavanagh just couldn't get a connection to it before Antwi clears it to comparative safety, but it's been picked up by Ronan Boyce. He plays it infield. McMullen spins away from his man initially, but well recovered there from Antwi, and Coops just trying to get the ball out from a tight position close towards their own corner flag, and in fact there's been a foul committed by Kavanagh, so that will be a free kick for the men in their yellow shirts, and they line up with Cradle in goal. The back four of Saarinen, Cisse, Sechenji and Antwi, Popovic, Oxenen and Heinonen in midfield, and then Savalainen, Tuminen and Yengi the front three. It was Tuminen's headed goal that got them level around about the 25th minute mark, and then right on the stroke of half time, Yengi and Tuminen combining to set up Savalainen, whose deflected shot found its way past Brian Maher. That was the story of a reasonably eventful first half, but a big 45 minutes to come now in this second game. I should give a shout out to everyone at the Brunswick Movie Bowl who are watching the stream along with the Radio Foyle commentary, which we are delighted to hear, and understand it's a brilliant atmosphere down there, and let's hope that Derry in this second half can provide one or two more big moments, because they know that if they can come through here tonight, they will play Tobol from Kazakhstan in the third qualifying round. They got past Basel earlier on when everybody was pretty much expecting the Swiss team to be the team that would go into the third qualifying round, and let's face it, very few of us would have heard of Tobol as well prior to this campaign. We have 3.5 minutes gone at the start of the second half. Free kick taken by Popovic, the Finnish midfielder, missed the first leg with a shoulder injury. The Finnish coach Honkavara making 5 changes in total from the first leg at the Brandywell, so it's a much changed team from the side that came here to the city last week. Remember, they had 3 players that weren't able to travel due to visa difficulties. 3 African defenders. They're all in the team though this evening for this tie, and Coops just losing out to possession from Diallo. There's been a couple of quick goals in Poland in that match involving Linfield against Pogon. Linfield were 1-0 up at half time. Well, the Poles equalised a couple of minutes into the second half, but Linfield have actually gone back in front there, so they lead 2-1 on the night. But the first leg, the Poles won by 5-2, so Linfield still with plenty of work to do in that second leg, which really nobody giving them much of a chance, but certainly they're putting up a good show, that's for sure. Ball now up towards the edge of the Derry City penalty area. Here's Tuminen to Antweep down the left hand side, and his cross in towards the 6-yard box, and it's been stabbed behind for a corner kick. Just Antweep for a moment there cutting down that left flank, but it's been cut out at the near post, so it will be a corner kick, and it's the fullback. Well, he's not going to take it, he's going to leave it for Popovic to take instead. Just over 5 minutes gone in this second half. Live coverage here on BBC Radio Foyle and on BBC Sounds. Derry with a corner kick to defend here early on. It was from a corner in the first half that Coops drew level, so City will be certainly hoping to defend this one better. Popovic puts it right in there, and there's a headed effort, and it's gone over the crossbar.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, it's a half a chance anyhow, right? Because I think it's a big centre half comes up, and they just loaded the box, and they've all come in at the back post, and he's got up above everybody, but heads are over the bar. But you can see Coops now, the way they've lined out second half, they're starting to come out a few more men. starting to push their midfielders on, which they weren't doing in the first half.
Coops win it back again in the midfield area with Popovic. Sliding challenge coming in there from McJanet. Now it's with Duffy out on this left hand side. His assist for Kavanagh in the first leg give Derry that lead coming to Finland tonight. Now it's Will Patching here. Scored the equalising goal back at the Brandywell. It's a tie that's had so much twists and turns. Here's Ronan Boyce. McMullen now, delivery in towards the box, has come off a Coops defender last, so Derry now go up the other end of the pitch and they win themselves a corner kick. You get the feeling it's going to be that type of a second half here. This match really there for the taking. Derry have already collected €550,000 in UEFA prize money. Further €300,000 for the winners of this tie. Dummigan has picked up a knock. Diallo just checking on him, and not sure if he's going to need any attention or not. Looks as if he wants to stay on the pitch. Derry will have this corner kick when play does eventually resume. So Coops just organising their defensive line, and Dummigan is making his way off. He's going to come off because Adam O'Reilly is going to come on for him. So Derry making a change here. 7.5 minutes into the second half. We'll get Liam's views on that switch in just a moment, but Derry have got a corner kick. O'Reilly, who of course had an opportunity to give Derry a 3-1 lead at the Brandywell last week. Later on he was denied by Cradle in the Coops goal. Here is Ben Doherty to swing in this corner kick now. Derry attacking the goal to our left hand side as we watch the play here in the second half. Any swings, and it's been won by Yengi, and Coops managed to deal with that one. And there's Adam O'Reilly, as ever, the last man back from a corner kick, and he ushers that ball back towards his goalkeeper Brian Maher. So Dummigan off, O'Reilly on, and here is Ben Doherty now, 25 yards out from goal, slips it towards Duffy. Duffy, just the ball runs away from him at the second attempt out for a goal kick.
Yeah, it's just lack of pace in that ball from Ben Doherty, just to play Michael Duffy in there. But going back to Cameron Dummigan, you just seen him saying it, that he's just went in for a tackle, and I don't know if it's a clash of legs. He's caught his ankle, and but didn't think he was going to come off. We thought he was going to run it off, but must be bad enough of it. They're not going to take any chances on him. But that's the two central midfielders, Dummigan and McElhinney, off now, so not ideal for Derry.
And we're 10 minutes into the second half. Derry trailing 2-1, 3-3 on aggregate. Diallo has it in the midfield area. Such a big month to come now ahead for Derry with Europe, FAI Cup, the league campaign, of course, resuming on Sunday with that trip to bottom of the table UCD. But all eyes on Europe right now. Cross in towards the penalty. McMullen, ball just wouldn't come down for Kavanagh. He does flick it over though towards Duffy. Duffy inside the box. It's going to be laid up here for Diallo. His shot blocks Diallo with the follow-up, and it's into the net, and Derry are back in front here. Sadou Diallo, the man who got the goal in the first round to put them past Torshavn, has produced the goods here in spectacular fashion, and with 10 minutes played in the second half, it's 2-2 on the night, and Derry back in front on the tie by 4-3. What a strike, glorious moment in Europe for Derry again.
Well, he's had a go at the first strike. It's come off the defender, it's come out, and he's just threw his left foot at it. The keeper hasn't even moved. It's gone through a couple of defenders here. We see it here again, and they do well to keep it alive. Goes out to Michael Duffy, he plays it inside. Coops don't even react to it. It's a good dummy but it comes back out, and you just see here the keeper doesn't even move for it. It's just a strike with his left foot, and it's shocking defending from Coops, I have to say. Really poor defending. The keeper just doesn't even move. Look, he doesn't even make an effort for it. But Sadou Diallo, we're expecting Patrick McElhinney and Patchy. Diallo scored 2 in Europe this season already, so Derry are back in the driving seat.
Well, this This tie has had so many twists and turns in it, but the latest back in Derry's favour again. They lead 4-3 now on aggregate, and here is Diallo. What a European campaign he is having. Scored the only goal, the decisive goal in that first round, that first qualifying round tie against Tórshavn when Derry won 1-0 at the Brandywell, sent them through into the second round. And could his goal here tonight be enough to send Derry through another round in Europe and into the third qualifying round? Well, we have 56 minutes played, so there's still a long way to go, but 2-2. What a topsy-turvy tie. And Coops will have to respond again, and they look to come down this right-hand side. They felt that they had done so much of the hard work. They could be in here, though. It's a one-on-one situation, and they have scored. Well, within a couple of minutes, Coops retake the lead here on the night, and it's Savalainen again as Derry's defence cut open. Coops drove a wedge through it, and Savalainen one-on-one. Maher came out to try and narrow the gap, but Savalainen maintained his composure, toe poked it past the goalkeeper, and Coops are now 3-2 up here in the second leg, and that's 4-4 on aggregate. Crazy stuff here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's a really good team goal there. Like, they work it really well through the middle, and they, as you say, they just cut the two Derry centre halves open. Savalainen just carried his run forward, and as Brian Maher come out, you just see it here. They work it really well. There's about 3 or 4 passes and defeat. And it's one touch here. Look, he just carries his run. Mark Conley's coming out, claiming offside, and there's no chance because the two fullbacks are playing him on. But Conley's come out too far, and it's a smart finish past Brian Maher. But there was no way this game was going to end up 2-2.
So the Coops players and their fans celebrate. Are certainly getting value for their money in Finland tonight. We haven't played an hour yet. There's been 5 goals, so Coops leading Derry by 3 goals to 2, but as I say, level on aggregate, 4 each. I don't think Derry have ever quite been involved in a European tie like this. Here is Ben Doherty now, swings it in towards the penalty area. At this rate, Liam, this match alone could end something like 5-all.
Funny enough, Eric, somebody said to me last week,
O'Reilly's put it in there, and the goalkeeper has come and tried to make a punch at it. It will be a corner kick. Derry have a player down hurt inside the 6-yard box. Can't quite just make out who it is. You're right, Liam, it is Will Patching. Derry will have a corner kick. I think he might have been caught a bit by the goalkeeper there.
The keeper, who's probably their best player, Eric, he hasn't covered himself in glory tonight. You know, that the third goal, the Derry second goal was poor from him, and then he's come out for that one there, but you know, there's still goals. Somebody said to me about this team last week, they score goals but they concede a lot, so you know, there's a chance here Derry can get back on the lead again here.
Well, just a minute or so after conceding, what now can Derry muster as a response to that? Here is Will Patching, who's back on his feet again in a healthy condition. It's a deep one towards the back post. It's a downward header, and it just goes the wrong side of the post from Mark Conley as Cradle was scrambling across his goal line there to get down just to make sure he was covered at the near post.
Yeah, you can just see him, Eric. He wasn't too sure himself. He's went lit again. You know, he hasn't even come for this one, and Mark Conley just heads it down, and you know, he doesn't know where it's going, but
it's just gone the wrong side of the post. We've played an hour. Live Europa League second qualifying round, second leg here on BBC Radio Foyle and BBC Sounds. Coops 3-2 up against Derry. It was 2-1 at half time, so if you've rejoined us a little bit late getting home from work, 2 further goals here already in this second half. The offside flag is up against Yengi, the Australian, and that'll be a free kick for Derry. Pogoń 2, Linfield 2 is the scoreline in Poland, so Pogoń still with a 3-goal advantage there in that one, and they're about 20 minutes into their game in Norway, where Crusaders are taking on Rosenborg. 2-2, that one was at Seaview, and so far Crusaders holding the Norwegian Giants to a scoreless draw there. Here's Adam Rayleigh. He's definitely had his shirt pulled there, and the referee is bringing out his card. So that's a yellow for Oxenen, the midfielder for Coops, the first player from the Finnish side to go into the referee's notebook. The referee tonight, who is from Croatia, Adam O'Reilly, not that long on, having replaced Cameron Dummigan. So free kick here for Derry. Patching places the ball on the artificial surface, and they know that they can still ask plenty of questions off this Coops defence. Ben Doherty is there as well, but he will leave it for Patching to take. Doesn't pass the first line. Diallo wins the header though. Ball just doesn't drop down for Boyce, and Adam O'Reilly picks it up at the halfway line. Larne, they will kick off against Balcani at 7:30, and then at 7:45 the two other League of Ireland sides, well, Dundalk are at 7:45, they're trailing 3-1. Shamrock Rovers are at 8 o'clock against Ferencváros. They're 4-0 down. Kavanagh looking to get on the end of Patching's flick on here, but Coops win it. Yengi's attempt to lay it off for one of his teammates doesn't work out, and Diallo drops deep now just to pick up the ball inside his own half. 62 and a half minutes played. Derry work the ball down the line. There's McMullen, and he's prevented from getting the cross in towards the box, but he'll be more than happy to settle for a corner kick there off Sichenja, the big Kenyan defender who's on loan with Coops, the Finnish outfit. Derry playing in Finland for the first time in European competition, as was the case in the last round when they made a first ever trip to the Faroes, and if they win, it'll be a first ever trip to Kazakhstan. Here is Ben Doherty in towards the box. Derry have a player down. It comes back towards Mark Connolly. He flicks it towards the back post area, and then there's a shot comes fired in from McMullen, and Coops just happy to send that ball to safety up into the Derry half, where Brian Maher has come a long way out of his goal. Hoists it high up into the air. Antwi is underneath that one. He should be able to deal with it, and Boyce has done very well there, just to extend his leg almost to keep hold of possession for Derry. Now it's with Diallo. McMullen looking to get away down that right hand side. He has got a throw in out of it, so it's been a good response from Derry to going 3-2 behind on the night. But remember, the tie is 4-4 on aggregate. Rory Higgins races to get the ball. He knows Derry have got a bit of momentum here in their play right now. Boyce takes the throw in, Patching in a very tight area. Referee sort of shrugs his shoulders as to what to give there. He leaves it up to the assistant referee, and he flags in favour of the Finnish team, so it'll be a throw in for them inside their own half. Antwi to take it. This tie very much in the balance. This time the throw goes Derry's way. As catch a glimpse of Honkavara, the Coops manager. Now it's with Diallo as Derry take the throw in. And here is Cameron McJanet. McJanet to Ben Doherty on his left foot. Sends it down the channel. Cross comes to Chenji to cut it out, and his throw in goes out of play, so Derry will have a throw in now down this left hand side. 65 minutes played.
Well, since Coops have scored a goal, Eric, it's been all Derry. Derry have really went at them and pushed them back, and Coops are just, defensively they just don't look solid at all. You look as if you can get a few more chances here, Derry will score. Ben
Doherty plays it infield for Patching. Patching Down the line to Duffy. Duffy towards the byline. Pulls the cross back. Headed away at the near post. It will drop though for Will Patching. Really good spell here for Derry. Patching thinks about driving in towards that penalty area. 3 yellow shirts around him. Releases it to Duffy. Duffy to Diallo. Diallo trying to pick out Kavanagh. And Cisse heads it away. And then O'Reilly, a couple of robust challenges going on in the midfield area there. Referee, though, happy to allow play continue. And Derry get it out wide to Patching once more. Patching, flick towards Duffy. Duffy lays it off for Ben Doherty. Needs to be a quality cross. It is towards the back post. There's the header.
Save.
And the goalkeeper on the goal line gets down to make a top save to keep out Cian Kavanagh. What would have been his 3rd goal in this tie. He'd done everything pretty much right. Did Cian Kavanagh's downward header, and the goalkeeper prevents it from going across the line.
Well, not for the first time in this tie, a goalkeeper has kept Coots on. It's a really good save, and just as well the centre half was there. They hit knock it out for a corner, but Derry have been the better side here the last 5-10 minutes.
Absolutely, they look the more likelier team to get the next goal in this tie, which will be crucial. It will put whichever team does get it ahead. Here is over the 2 legs. Here is Derry coming again now. Infield for Diallo. Diallo into the penalty area. And Connolly knows that well, I thought it was going to be his ball, but it's not. And he's absolutely livid there. But it's adjudged to have come off Derry player last, so it'll be a Coops throw in. We're 3/4 of the way through the 90 minutes in this second leg tie. It's been hard to keep up with it at times. 67 minutes gone. Coops leading Derry by 3 goals to 2, 4-4 on aggregate. Mark Connolly back now in his defensive role with Cameron McJanet, who has taken on the captain's armband after the first half replacement of Patrick McElhinney.
I'll have to say, Eric, the
Coops can't get hold of the ball.
changes haven't harmed Derry at all.
Here is Duffy. Whips it towards the back post. Kavanagh again the target. It's headed away by Cisse. Comes out to Ronan Boyce. Back to Diallo. Diallo back towards Duffy. Oh, what a goal! Absolutely brilliant. Michael Duffy puts Derry back in front on aggregate. A beautifully floated delivery in towards the penalty area, and there was Duffy unmarked to steer his header into the back of the net, and it's 3-3 on the night. But crucially, Derry 5-4 ahead now in aggregate, and we've 22 minutes to go. Could that be the crucial goal that sends Derry into the 3rd qualifying round?
Well, again, Derry have been the team on the ascendancy since they went behind. They've really pushed them back, and again, shocking. They're absolutely shocking defending. It's a good ball, and look at the 2 centre halves here. They just leave it. They won't know the full back in the centre half, and Duffy just gets in between the 2 of them, and he powers a header right into the far corner. Brilliant header from Mickey Duffy, but that Coops defence, I think, are absolutely shocking. I'm not joking, when I say that there, but all credit to Derry for the way they just go on and kept their heads and put themselves in front again.
Well, a match full of drama, and Duffy gets in on the act with his headed goal. One of the team's most experienced players when it comes to European competition. We have 20 minutes to go, and the crucial key now from Derry's point of view, when they went in front the last time as a result of Diallo's goal, they conceded almost straight away, and they've, without stating the obvious, got to make sure they don't let that happen this time around. 20 minutes here remaining in this second leg tie. Coops 3, Derry City 3, an extraordinary match, and Derry 5-4 ahead on aggregate, and we're now going to see some Coops changes. So they're making a triple substitution, which is going to see Jake Jervis is coming on, their number 44, so is Bispo, their number 19. And I just have to make sure that they have everything in order here as they make these changes now with less than 20 minutes to go, but the tie back in Derry's favour. Free kick. Connolly swings it across, so confirmation of them changes. Jervis on for Savalainen. Jake Jervis, he's the English player, the English front man who plays for Coops. Popovic has come off to be replaced by Bispo. There's the second change that they made. Duffy's just down at the moment with a calf issue, but he's okay. He's back on his feet again, and it'll be a throw-in, which Ben Doherty is going to take 10 yards from the Coops corner flag. Derry not sitting back on this aggregate lead that they have. They're now going after a 2-goal cushion. Here is Duffy and Diallo, the men who combined for that last goal, as Coops get it away up towards the halfway line, and they've it looked as if for a second there that they'd just given possession straight away back to Derry. Here is Cradle, their goalkeeper, goes long with it now. Connolly underneath it, heads it up in the air. Diallo, volleyed ball forward. 18 minutes left to go in this match. Pogon now 3-2 up against Linfield, so the Blues heading out of Europe. Derry on the verge of extending their run into the third qualifying round, if they can see this match out from here, but still a good way to go as Coops look for the long diagonal ball. Have it over on the left hand side, midway inside that Derry half. Little 1-2 ball now comes across here. It's going to be a throw in fact. Just
you look at Mickey Duffy over the 2 legs, he hasn't really been in the match, over the 2 legs, but he's provided the assist for Cabna last week, and now he's got the goal, and that's what big players do and games like this here, and big games, they show up, they do important things, and Duffy has shown over the last couple of weeks that's exactly what he is.
Kavanagh goes down, appeals to the referee for a free kick. Referee wasn't interested, and now Coops thread a pass through the middle looking for Jervis. Connolly has hurt himself in that challenge. In fact, Derry have 2 players down just now. Mark Connolly being one of them, and
it's Patchin again is down, Eric.
Well, Patchin also on the ground, and may require some treatment. Well, it's all about can Derry hold their nerve from here now, Liam.
Well, that's it, Derek. It looks as if they're going to go a bit more direct and push a few more bodies through. But Derry just got to keep their shape now. They lost their shape there when Coops took the lead for the third goal. They've got not let them play through them. They got to keep tight, let them play down the wings. But I think if Derry keep going, they'll score another goal here.
There is 15 minutes remaining in this game. Derry leading 5-4 on aggregate. The match itself is 3-3 on the night. Coops work it down the far left hand side. If Derry don't concede between now and the end of the game, they will be into the third qualifying round. Only twice before in their history have they gone through 2 rounds in Europe. That was back in 2006 when they of course famously knocked out Gothenburg, won both legs 1-0. Then they beat Gretna in the second qualifying round. Diallo was given away a free kick inside his own half, and he's got a yellow card as well for it. And of course that run back in 2006, which eventually came to an end against the mighty PSG, but only after Derry held them to a 0-0 draw at the Brandywell. So Diallo has picked up a card. Derry's other 2 players on yellow cards McElhinney and Dummigan have both left the pitch injured. Derry will have a league fixture to come on Sunday, remember, against UCD in Dublin. 3 o'clock kick-off for that one, and we'll have commentary of that match as well. Here is the free kick now for Coops. Ball in towards the penalty area, and it was Cameron McJanet who has headed it away, and I think he's hurt himself as well in the process. Crusaders have fallen a goal behind against Rosenborg of Norway, so they now trail by 3-2 there over the two legs. Tough ask for Stephen Baxter's side out in Norway there this evening after getting a 2-2 draw at home, but well, it's we're all on clock watch here now, aren't we, as Derry inch closer to progressing here in Europe. 13 minutes left to play, and no doubt every player emptying the tank as Doherty takes the throw in. McMullen, well, he sort of lost his footing as he
when he's went down injured,
shaped to
they're away here
go
again.
after that ball. Coops now quickly on the attack inside the penalty area, take on the shot which has gone wide. Maher had it covered as it took a couple of bounces across the face of the goal and behind for a goal kick.
I think it's Conley's as the running boys has gone in, they won it, and he's just let it past them, and then it's broke down the left hand side. There's 2 or 3 players, but I think McMullen's done a bit of damage himself.
So Michael Hegarty, the Derry City physio, is required on the pitch just to give McMullen some treatment here over on that far side off the pitch. But Derry now looking to see out this match, and they do know that if they do go through, they will be in Kazakhstan next Thursday. McMullen is going to come off to be replaced by Shane McElhinney, and we're also going to see Danny Mullen as well come on, so a double change here from Rory Higgins. Shane McElhinney, the central defender, is on for the Scotsman Paul McMullen, but there is another Scottish player about to enter the pitch as Danny Mullen prepares to come on for Cian Kavanagh, whose goal set the tone for a pretty chaotic night way back in the 13th minute when his headed effort put City in front. They were then 2-1 behind at half time. They got it back level at 2-2 shortly after the break. Then Coops went in front again just before the hour mark to lead by 3-2. But as it stands, that strike from Sadou Diallo, which came in the 69th minute, is going to send Derry into the third qualifying round of this Europa League competition. There is 10 minutes still left to play as Shane McElhinney takes the looping throw in, and Coops just settle for a throw in close towards their own corner flag. Diallo wins the header in the midfield area, picked up though by Vicesco. Scored that penalty back in the first leg. Here is Cradle outside his own box. The Coops goalkeeper gets as much distance as he can down this right hand side. Yengi not able to bring it under control. They just look a little bereft of ideas right now, Coops, don't they, Liam?
They do. Look, that goal from Mickey Duffy has just knocked the stuffing clean out of them, and when they're starting to go long, because you can see even last week when they went behind, they're still trying to play out from the back, but now they're just running out of ideas, and This is where Derry now have just got to keep their composure, keep their shape, don't give nothing away.
Ball high up in the air, won brilliantly over on that far side. Now Danny Mullen heckling the Coups defender as much as he can. He's forced to play it back towards Cradle. The home team know that they are running out of time. Antwi brings it forward for them. Less than 9 minutes to go. Connolly guarding that defensive area. Gets his clearance in. Now Coups pick it up inside their own half as they cross the halfway line. Ball kept in play by Saarinen. Here is Sechenji over to Antwi. Up to Jervis. Derry now just need to keep their discipline. And again, it's another fruitless attack from the Finnish team as that ball clipped over the Derry defence and out for a goal kick. And we have 8 minutes left to play in Finland. 3-3 on the night. Derry 5-4 ahead on aggregate. Maher with the goal kick. Just goes over the head of Patching. Boyce wins it. Coups send it forward hurriedly. Connolly. Well, that's a stylish bit of defending, you'd have to say, there from Mark Connolly. Under pressure with a Coups player pretty close to him, and Diallo just was in danger of losing the ball as well, but McElhinney was there to help him out and drive it forward. Ball flicked into the path of McElhinney again. And the 20 or 30 Derry City fans who made the trip to Kuopion, it was a bit of a logistical nightmare, but they'll feel that it's been very much worth their trip.
You only think this is a logistical nightmare until they try to get the Kazakhstan here.
I don't think anybody's trying to think about that just now. That I'm sure will present many problems as well over the next couple of days, but it's going to have to be sorted very quickly. Such is the nature of these European ties that just follow from one week into the next. Derry have 6 minutes of normal time here to see it out, and the Coups players looking more and more exasperated as their attempts to try and find another goal are failing. Brian Maher with the ball in his hands, launches it forward. Chenji can only put it out of play, and Coups are going to make another 2 substitutions now in what you feel as we enter this final stretch is just a last roll of the dice now from their manager. They're going to bring on Lampinen, the number 11, and Dastrom as well, their number 8, is ready to come on. About 5 minutes, a little over 5 minutes, plus whatever additional time the Croatian referee is going to play at the end. Cradle plays it out from the back. There is Cisse to Sechenji. Antwi now advancing over on that left-hand side, but Derry making sure that there's no way through. Not long left to go now on what has been an energy-sapping evening in Finland for these Derry players, but the rewards are rich and they're not far away now. Diallo just steps into the ball, wins it back for Derry. They can go forward if they wish, and Mullen there, has he won a free kick? Well. I think he has. It's exactly what his manager would want him doing in that type of situation. Just took a tumble under the presence of Tuminen, and Derry have got a free kick. 4.5 minutes here to go. Free kick which Shane McElhinney sends all the way back to Brian Maher in the Derry City goal. He goes long with it. Header was won. The assistant referee flag is up, and well, the big Coups defender not happy with Danny Mullen, who he feels is going down too easily. But it's all about the Derry players just being smart now, Liam.
Since Derry have taken the lead, Derek, there's been no response at all from Coups, and Derry have just snuffed out any attacks and really kept their shape on there, stayed compact. And Coups have just ran out of ideas. Like, they haven't really created anything, and at this minute you can only see Derry going on scoring another one, but because Coups have...
Well, Coups are coming down the right-hand side.
They've got a corner.
Yeah, they have got a corner out of it. Philip Lowry has scored right on the stroke of half-time for Crusaders. So they have drawn level with Rosenborg in Norway. So that one is now 1 each on the night and 3-3 on aggregate. In Kuopion, Coups have got a corner kick, and it's going to be swung in by Antwi. They need a goal to stay in this tie, and it's too heavy. It's gone over the head of everybody and out behind for a goal kick. There might even have been a push in there, I'm not quite sure, but absolute wasted set piece opportunity there from Coups. And Derry will be growing in confidence here that they very nearly are close to getting this job done. The finishing line is in sight for City. 3-3 on the night, but 5-4 they lead on aggregate. 2 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Pumped forward by Maher. Back into the Derry half. Conley wins the header. Shane McElhinney just has to backpedal a little bit before he sends it high up into the air as well. Flicked on there from Duffy. It's his goal as it stands that is going to decide this tie. His headed goal. Here is Patchin. Patchin clips it down the right hand side. Boyce chasing after it. He'll be happy just to get familiar with that corner flag down there, and he's done well. Even better than that. He's won a corner kick out of it.
He's done really well.
So Derry have Coups just exactly where they want them now, hemmed inside their own penalty area, and they've got a corner kick to defend. McElhinney and McJanet still all going forward for it here. Ben Doherty to take, and it goes, and Creedle just happy to push that ball away. But the referee's whistle has sounded, and that's going to be a free kick for Coups. Well, they get on with it quickly, but it's run all the way through towards Brian Maher.
There was a lot made of the three players that didn't play last week. I don't know if they made much of a difference tonight, to be quite honest, because I think defensively tonight they've been worse than last week. And Derry have exposed them so much, especially in the second half.
We're into the 90th minute here in Finland. Derry on the verge of a famous victory over the two legs. They lead 5-4 in aggregate. Coups must find a goal in the last few minutes here if they're to take this match to extra time. And right now they're inside their own half with the ball, and the assistant referee has indicated that there will be 5 additional minutes at the end of this game. So 5 minutes still left to play here. Coups with the ball down the right hand side. Here's Oxenen, their number 13, sends it in towards the box. It's a wasted delivery from Oxenen, and Derry with Ronan Boyce there. He doesn't have to do anything in the shape of defending that one, as he can let it just run right through and out for a goal kick. What about your Derry City man of the match tonight, Liam?
Well, it's been a real team effort, Derek, I have to say, and every man has done their job defensively. You conceding 3 goals, you're not going to give it to any defenders, but I'm going to give it to Sadou Diallo. I think coming on for Patrick McElhinney. It was always going to be difficult for him, but he's got a goal. Set up Mickey Duffy for a second one. He's put on a real performance in the middle of the field, just anchored it on there, done really well. So I want to give it to Sadhu Diallo.
1 minute off the 5 additional has been played. Coops are coming forward. They slip it down the right hand side. Derry with every player now back defending. Here is Yengi just looking to shake off the attention of McJanet. They do trash an attempt on goal from quite some way out, and that effort is never going to trouble Brian Maher in the Derry City goal, and he's going to take as much time as he can with the ball and let the clock continue to run down as they play it deep now up into the Coops half. Mullen on his own up there. It's back with Cradle. The big Austrian launches it deep. Connolly wins the header, drops down, edge of the D. Coops player goes down outside the box looking for the free kick. Referee not going to buy that one. And Cameron McJanet just has a word with Yengi, the Australian, for going down too easily there. 2 minutes now of the 5 additional minutes have been played. And Coops with a throw in about midway inside the Derry half. They actually go backwards with it. They have the ball in the centre circle area. Derry, every player back defending. Duffy sticks out a leg. Brian Maher comes out for this one, and just right towards the edge of his penalty area collects the ball. Yengi has picked up a yellow card for his play acting outside the Derry box. 2 minutes to go now. It's been an exhausting night in Finland, but Derry are almost there. This 3-3 draw will be enough to take them through on aggregate. Since going in front with Cian Kavanagh's goal at the Brandywell, they've never been behind in the tie. Coops got themselves back level on a couple of occasions, but it's the head of Michael Duffy, as things stand, that's going to send City through into the next qualifying round of this Europa Conference League. They may indeed be the only Irish club still standing by the end of the night, as Maher claimed that last attack from Coops. There doesn't seem to be any big final finish in this Coops team, is there? They go long with it again, and this time Maher comes and collects, and they've just been completely bereft of ideas in terms of trying to get this fourth goal that would take the tie into extra time. We've a minute to go.
He's brought on all the subs, Eric, and not one of them has made a difference. You know, not one has made a change, and they just started lumping balls in there. Derry have just sat back, defended really well, have been really comfortable since he's taken the lead. They've had nothing to defend, and you look at Coops and you go, whoever's doing the rankings, I think, are 200 places above Derry in the rankings. Well, I think that's... have a look at that or something.
Yeah, I think that's just to do with the fact that they're regular participants in Europe year in, year out, qualifying through the Finnish League. Derry might have one last attack here just to defend from Coops, but we're into seconds remaining now in this tie, and Ben Doherty has got a yellow card, I think, but he'll not mind that because Coops made absolutely nothing of it, and Derry have got a throw in. It's been a performance of heart, soul, spirit and resistance, and the referee has sounded the final whistle. Derry are through. They have produced a fairy tale result in Finland. Another glorious night in Europe for the Candy Stripes. They win through 2 rounds in Europe for only the second time in their history. An extraordinary 3-3 result here on the night, enough to take City through 5-4 on aggregate and set up another 2 weeks of European mania really to look forward to. They will travel to Kazakhstan next week to face Tobal. But what a summer's adventure this is turning out to be for Rory Higgins and his team. And of course they pick up another €300,000 as well to bring their European pot this season to €850,000. The fans out there, the small number of fans that have travelled, can celebrate a victory in Finland. What a match. Cian Kavanagh put Derry in front in the 13th minute. They trailed 2-1 at half time. Diallo got them level 2-2 on the night. Coops responded again to go 3-2 up. 4-4 it was in aggregate. The tie so much in the balance, and it was Duffy's superb header from Diallo's cross into the box with 20 minutes to go that has ultimately decided it. It's a terrific result to get away from home in Europe, Liam Coyle, and it's a night that they will remember for a long time. What a game it's been. Breathless stuff.
Unbelievable, Eric. And as you said in your summary there, it was all about heart and spirit tonight. Going behind, just before half time, it could have knocked the stuffing out of them, but they regrouped, got themselves back in the match, and then they go behind again and they come back, and then from then on they show great composure, great professionalism. They see out the match, and Coops had nothing to offer near the end, so it keeps going for another couple of weeks.
Well, it does, as the Derry players take the acclaim from their loyal fans that made that arduous trip out towards Finland. And now, well, of course, they've got UCD in the league on Sunday, and they're right in the mix for the league championship as well, particularly given the form of Shamrock Rovers. But who's to say where this European run can take them to now, Liam? We don't know much about the Kazakhstan team, Tobal, but they have to travel for the first leg in less than a week's time. They'll be back on the plane no sooner having touched down back at home.
The only problem is they're away from the Brandywell for their home tie, so that might have a bearing on it. But as you say, you don't know nobody knew what this team was like. You just have to take each game on its own merits. You don't look at what Tobal done against Basel. You go on to the next game full of confidence, and you never know where it might take you.
Well, the Coops players a bit stunned that they've been knocked out at Europe. This was their first match in this campaign because they got a bye through to the second round, but it's all about Derry City's vintage performance there tonight. They have given it their all, and for the fans and their manager Rory Higgins, a night to cherish, an unforgettable night in Finland. 3-3 it finished in Kuopion, and Derry going through 5-4 on aggregate, and their European adventure goes on. Desi, back to you.
Thanks to Eric and to Liam. We have to do it all again next week with, well, some sort of trip. It'll be some organising to get a trip to Kazakhstan sorted in quite a few days. Before that, they have UCD. But elsewhere tonight, Tobal, they won through against Basel despite losing 2-1 in the home leg. They lost 4-3 in aggregate. Linfield have been beaten 3-2 in the night, 8-4 on aggregate. And Crusaders, they're putting up a real fight in Norway. They're 1-1 with Rosenborg at half-time in the second leg there. That makes it 3 goals apiece on aggregate. Philip Lowry, just on the stroke of half-time, he cancelled out Nelson's goal for the Norwegian side. But it's been a massive, massive night for Derry City, another great night for Derry City, and it will all continue next week, and we'll have it here for you on BBC Radio Foyle. But for now, that's it from Foyle Sports Sound. Derry City have secured another famous European victory. They've drawn 3-3 on the night against Coops in Finland. That's a 5-4 aggregate win, a victory that secures that trip to Kazakhstan next week to take on Tobal. We'll bring you that game here on BBC Radio Foyle also. But before that, we're back on Sunday afternoon when the Candy Stripes return to the bread and butter of the Airtricity Premier Division when they travel to the Belfield Bowl to take on the students of UCD. We're on air from 3 o'clock. For now, however, from Eric White, from Liam Coyle, Darrell Harkin and myself, Desi McCallion, thanks for joining us. Good night.